Anna never imagined her life would change so much after marriage. Growing up in the city, she was used to tall buildings, busy streets, loud traffic, and lights that stayed on all night. She always walked on clean roads, visited grocery stores that had everything she needed, and spent her days following a regular routine. She liked the comfort of shops nearby, public transport, and the feeling of knowing exactly what to expect. But when she married Jacob, her life took a completely new turn, one she never thought she would experience. Jacob lived on a ranch miles away from the city. His world was filled with fields that stretched so far they touched the horizon. Instead of honking cars, there were birds calling. Instead of crowds of people, there were quiet mornings, soft winds, and the sound of animals moving in the distance. When Anna first arrived there, she felt as if she had stepped into another universe. The air smelled different, fresh and earthy. The roads were not smooth and paved, but dusty and uneven. Every direction she looked, there was open land, and she felt both amazed and unsure at the same time. On her first morning after moving in, the sun woke her earlier than she expected. Light filled the room through the wide window, and she blinked slowly, wondering why it felt so bright. In the city, tall buildings always blocked the sun, keeping her room shaded. But here, nothing stood between her and the sunrise. She heard the faint sound of roosters somewhere far away, something she only heard in movies before. She sat up in bed, feeling the quietness around her. It wasn't the kind of silence that made her uncomfortable. It was gentle, peaceful, but also strange because she wasn't used to it. Jacob was already awake, preparing for the day. When Anna stepped outside, she found him near the barn, feeding the horses. He looked completely natural in the setting, comfortable, calm, and confident. She watched him for a moment, noticing how he moved with ease, how he understood the animals, and how they trusted him. He smiled warmly when he saw her walking toward him. "Morning," he said softly, wiping his hands on his jeans. "You slept well?" Anna nodded, though she wasn't sure what she felt yet. Everything felt new, from the smell of hay to the soft sound of horses breathing. She tried to smile back, but her heart carried a mix of excitement and nervousness. She appreciated how kind and patient Jacob was. He didn't push her into anything. He simply wanted her to get comfortable slowly. Jacob showed her around the ranch that day. He pointed toward the fields, the barns, the small garden where they grew vegetables, and the paths that led deeper into the land. Anna listened carefully, trying to remember everything, but her mind kept drifting to the huge space around her. It was so different from the tight, crowded feeling of the city. Here, everything felt open, like the sky stretched wider and the ground had more room to breathe. Although the ranch was beautiful, Anna couldn't ignore the uncomfortable feeling inside her. She wondered, can I really live like this? She wasn't used to early mornings, outdoor work, or animals that big and strong. She wasn't even used to being far from neighbors or markets. The nearest store was miles away. Even the sound of the wind brushing through the grass felt unfamiliar. At lunchtime, Jacob cooked simple food, fresh bread, eggs, and tea. They sat on the porch, and Anna watched the land spread out in front of them. She noticed a group of horses grazing, their tails swaying slowly. Farther away, cows moved across the field in a quiet line. Jacob talked about how the ranch had been in his family for generations. He grew up there, learned everything from his father, and carried a deep love for the lifestyle. Anna listened with interest, trying to understand his connection to the place. She realized that this ranch wasn't just land. It was Jacob's heart, his pride, and his history. And now, it was supposed to be her home too. The next few days were a mixture of joy and confusion for her. On one day, she enjoyed the fresh air and the beautiful sunsets. She loved watching the orange sky and the peaceful evenings where the world seemed to slow down. But on other days, she felt overwhelmed by the workload and the unfamiliar routines. She wasn't used to waking up so early. She wasn't used to walking so much or adjusting to unpredictable weather. She often felt unsure whether she was doing things right. Jacob noticed her struggle, but he didn't push her. Instead, he stayed gentle and supportive. Whenever Anna felt frustrated, he encouraged her with a soft smile or a reassuring word. "You're doing great," he would say. "It takes time to get used to this." One afternoon, Anna wandered near the horse enclosure. She watched the horses move gracefully. Their strong legs, shiny coats, and calm eyes fascinated her. She had never been close to such animals in her city life. Jacob joined her quietly and leaned against the fence. "Do you want to come closer?" he asked. Anna hesitated. "I've never even touched a horse before," he smiled. "That's all right. There's a first time for everything." He gently guided her inside the fence. The horse nearest to them stepped forward, curious but calm. Anna's heart beat faster as she slowly raised her hand. When she finally touched the horse's warm, smooth skin, she felt something unexpected. Fear mixed with amazement. The horse didn't move away. Instead, it lowered its head slightly, as if welcoming her. "That's Thunder," Jacob said softly. "He's gentle." Anna smiled nervously, feeling a connection forming in that moment. It wasn't just with the horse, but with the life she was stepping into. But she still wasn't sure how she would fit into this world. She had so much to learn, and everything felt new and challenging. Every day, as she explored more, she also learned more about Jacob. He was hardworking, patient, and deeply dedicated to his responsibilities. He woke up before sunrise and worked until evening, but he never complained. Anna admired this side of him. In the city, she had seen many people rushing and stressing, but Jacob worked with calmness. He respected the land, understood nature, and believed in doing things with care. Slowly, Anna began seeing the beauty in the ranch life, even with the challenges. She found joy in simple things like the cool breeze early in the morning, the golden color of fields at sunset, and the feeling of peace at night when the stars appeared clearly above them. In the city, she rarely saw stars because of the lights, but here, the sky looked like a dark blanket filled with shining dots. She often stood outside just to watch them, feeling a quiet comfort inside her. Still, Anna knew she wasn't fully ready. She was adjusting but not completely confident. The ranch was big. The tasks were many. And the lifestyle was very different from what she had known her whole life. But Jacob's kindness made everything easier. He never rushed her. He simply showed her the beauty of the life he loved and allowed her to discover it at her own pace. One evening, while sitting on the porch, Anna looked at Jacob and said, "Everything here is so different. I feel like I'm learning a new language without words." Jacob smiled gently. "Take your time. This place isn't just a home. It's a journey." Anna nodded slowly, feeling a small spark of hope inside her. She didn't know how long it would take, but she wanted to try. She wanted to understand this world better, not just for Jacob but for herself too. She didn't know it yet, but this was only the beginning. Soon, she would take her first real ride across the ranch. And that ride would change everything. For now, she was just learning to breathe in this new life, one soft step at a time. The days on the ranch slowly began to feel more familiar to Anna, even though every day still brought something new. She watched Jacob move around the fields with confidence, and she admired how smoothly he handled everything. One thing she noticed quickly was his deep connection with the horses. He spoke to them softly, understood their moods, and treated them like trusted partners. Anna found this fascinating because she had never been around horses before. In the city, the closest she came to seeing a horse was in a parade or on television. Here, they were part of daily life. Every morning when Anna stepped outside, she saw horses running freely across the open land. Their movements were strong and graceful. They seemed fearless, as if the world belonged to them. Anna would stand and watch them, feeling something stir inside her, curiosity mixed with a little fear. She wondered how Jacob managed to ride them so easily when they looked so powerful. One morning, while Anna was watching the horses, Jacob walked up beside her. He didn't say anything at first. He simply looked at the horses with the same warm expression he always had. After a moment, he turned to her and asked gently, "Have you ever gone riding before?" Anna laughed softly. "No, never. I've never even been close to riding." Jacob nodded, not judging her in any way. "Would you like to try someday?" The question took her by surprise. She felt her heart beat a little faster. She wasn't sure if she was ready. Riding a horse seemed exciting but also frightening. She imagined sitting on such a large animal and moving across the land with nothing but trust between them. The thought made her uncomfortable and curious at the same time. "I don't know," she admitted honestly. Jacob smiled. "There's no rush. When you're ready, I'll teach you." His calm voice made her feel safe. Even though she wasn't ready yet, she appreciated how patient he was. He didn't push her or make her feel embarrassed. Instead, he made her feel like the decision was completely her own. Over the next few days, Anna found herself thinking about riding more often. Every time she saw Jacob saddle a horse or guide one across the ranch, something inside her whispered, "Maybe I should try." She wasn't sure why. Maybe she wanted to understand Jacob's world better. Maybe she wanted to challenge her fears. Or maybe she simply wanted to feel the sense of freedom she saw in the horse's movements. One afternoon, Jacob approached her with a gentle smile and said, "The weather is perfect today. I'm going for a short ride around the fields. Would you like to come along? You can just sit behind me." "You don't have to ride alone." Anna hesitated. Her hands felt a little shaky, and she wasn't sure if she should agree. But something inside her pushed her to say yes. Maybe it was the way Jacob asked, soft, understanding, and without pressure. Or maybe it was her own desire to see what riding felt like, even if she wasn't ready to ride by herself. After a moment of silence, she nodded. "Okay, I'll try." Jacob's smile grew, and he looked genuinely happy. "Great. I'll prepare the horse." Anna followed him to the barn. She watched as he placed the saddle on one of the calmest horses, Thunder. The same horse she had touched earlier. Thunder stood quietly, as if he understood the importance of the moment. Jacob checked the straps, adjusted the reins, and made sure everything was secure. Then he turned to Anna. "Ready?" She took a deep breath. "I think so." Jacob helped her climb onto the horse. The moment she sat down, she felt a sudden height rise beneath her. Everything looked different from up there. She could see the ground far below, and the wide land stretching around her. For a second, she wanted to step back down, but Jacob's hand rested gently on her arm. "You're okay," he said softly. "Just relax." Thunder is very gentle. Anna nodded slowly. She felt a little awkward, but she tried to steady her breathing. Jacob climbed onto the horse in front of her, and she held onto him lightly. He clicked his tongue, gave Thunder a gentle signal, and the horse began to walk. At first, the movement felt strange. Anna wasn't used to the rhythm. The horse's steps made her sway slightly, and she held Jacob a little tighter. But after a few minutes, she noticed the ride becoming smoother. The steady rocking motion started to feel comforting, like a slow wave. The wind brushed against her face, and she felt the fresh scent of grass filling the air. As they moved deeper across the fields, Anna slowly relaxed. She looked around and saw the land in a new way. She noticed the green grass shining under the sunlight, the distant hills fading into soft shapes, and the birds flying in open patterns across the sky. Everything felt wider and more alive. Jacob spoke softly, explaining how the horse sensed emotions. "Thunder can feel if you're nervous," he said. "But he can also feel when you start trusting him. That makes him calm, too." Anna listened carefully, surprised at how the horse seemed to understand her feelings. She tried to loosen her grip and sit naturally. Thunder responded by walking more steadily, as if encouraging her. After a while, Jacob gently pulled the reins to slow Thunder down. "Would you like to guide him for a moment?" he asked. Anna's heartbeat sped up again. "Me? I don't know how." "I'll show you, and I'll hold the reins too. You won't be alone." She hesitated but eventually nodded. Jacob placed her hands gently on the reins and kept his own hands near them. He guided her through small, simple movements, pulling slightly to one side, loosening the grip to keep Thunder walking straight, and feeling the rhythm of the horse. To Anna's surprise, Thunder responded to her commands. The moment she guided him even slightly, the horse followed. A small smile spread across her face. She felt something new, a quiet sense of confidence growing inside her. For the first time since she arrived at the ranch, she felt like she was truly part of this world, even if only for a moment. Jacob noticed her smile. "You're doing great," he said warmly. Anna felt a deep sense of pride, not because she had mastered anything, but because she had faced something new and discovered a feeling she didn't expect: connection, not just with the horse but with the land, the air, and the life around her. They rode for a long time, talking about small things. Jacob's childhood memories, Anna's city stories, and the differences between their worlds. The conversation flowed easily, and Anna felt lighter with every passing minute. When they finally returned to the barn, Anna stepped off the horse with trembling legs, but she laughed softly at herself. "I didn't fall," she said jokingly. Jacob laughed too. "You did more than that. You rode." Anna petted Thunder gently, thanking him in a soft voice. Thunder nudged her in a friendly way, and she felt warmth spread in her chest. As they walked back toward the house, Anna realized something important. She had taken her first step into Jacob's world, not because she was forced to, but because she wanted to. She understood now that riding wasn't just another task on the ranch. It was a way to feel free, to understand the land, and to connect with the life she was learning to accept. She also didn't know it yet, but this first ride was only the beginning. Soon, she would learn to ride on her own, and the ranch would start feeling less like a strange place and more like a home she never knew she needed. Anna's life on the ranch slowly began to feel like a long journey of learning, one that she hadn't planned but had started to enjoy. Her first ride with Jacob had opened a small door inside her heart. It wasn't just about riding a horse. It was about discovering a new version of herself. After that day, something inside her shifted. She felt less afraid of the unknown and more curious about the life Jacob lived so naturally. Every morning, she stepped outside with a little more confidence. At first, she only watched Jacob work from a distance, but soon, without even realizing it, she began joining him, not because she was expected to, but because she wanted to understand this world better. The ranch was no longer just a place she moved to. It was slowly becoming a place she wanted to belong. Jacob noticed the change in her. He didn't say anything out loud, but he smiled more often whenever she walked beside him. He enjoyed teaching her, and she enjoyed learning from him. Their bond grew stronger, not through big moments, but through simple, everyday things. One of the first tasks Anna learned was feeding the animals. At first, she hesitated. The horses were big, the cows even bigger, and everything felt intimidating. But Jacob guided her patiently. He showed her how to hold the bucket, how to approach the animals calmly, and how to understand their gentle ways. Anna was surprised at how quickly the animals grew comfortable around her. She had always thought they might be distant or difficult, but they showed trust in small ways. A soft nudge, a calm gaze, or the way they waited for her without fear. It made her feel welcome, almost like the ranch itself was accepting her step by step. Learning the rhythm of the ranch was another challenge. The days started early, long before the sun rose. In the beginning, Anna found it difficult. She often felt sleepy, and her body wasn't used to the long hours of movement. But Jacob never rushed her. He let her learn at her own pace, gently encouraging her without pressure. One morning, while they walked through the fields together, Jacob explained how important it was to understand the land. "The fields speak," he said softly, "not with words, but with signs. The soil, the wind, even the colors of the grass, they tell us what the day needs." Anna listened carefully. She never thought land could be something you understood like a person. But as days passed, she began to notice things she hadn't seen before: the way the sky looked before rain, the slight change in wind when the weather shifted, the movement of animals. When they sensed something new, it felt like she was slowly learning a language she didn't know existed. She also learned how much effort went into maintaining the ranch. It wasn't just about feeding animals or riding horses. There were fences to repair, water lines to check, and tools to maintain. Sometimes, the work felt endless. But strangely, Anna didn't feel tired the way she used to in the city. Here, her exhaustion felt meaningful, like she was part of something real. Despite the progress she made, there were still moments when she struggled. Some days felt too busy, too confusing, or too unfamiliar. She would feel uncertain, wondering if she truly belonged there. But Jacob always noticed when she felt overwhelmed. He would pause his work, stand beside her, and say something gentle that brought her calm again. "Every day doesn't have to be perfect," he told her once. "You're learning. That's enough." His words stayed with her. She repeated them in her mind whenever she felt lost. One afternoon, the weather suddenly changed. Dark clouds gathered over the ranch, and the wind picked up quickly. It wasn't dangerous, but it was strong enough to make the animals restless. Jacob hurried to guide them into safer spaces before the rain came. Without waiting to be asked, Anna joined him. Together, they moved quickly, guiding the animals with calm voices and steady steps. Anna felt nervous, but she didn't let it stop her. She followed Jacob's lead and used everything she had learned. When the rain finally started, they were soaked but smiling. "That was teamwork," Jacob said with pride. Anna felt a warm feeling in her chest. It wasn't just about helping. It was about being part of something that needed both of them. In that moment, she realized how far she had come. She wasn't just watching life on the ranch anymore, she was living it. As the days passed, Anna became more comfortable with the horses. She spent time brushing their coats, feeding them apples, and learning their personalities. Some were playful, some were calm, and some were shy. But Thunder remained her favorite. He had a gentle nature that made her feel safe. One morning, Jacob approached her near the stable. "How about you try riding on your own today? Just a short distance. I'll walk beside you." Anna felt her heart jump. Riding alone sounded exciting but scary. But when she looked at Thunder's calm eyes and felt Jacob's encouraging smile, she nodded slowly. Jacob helped her climb onto the saddle. This time, she didn't hold him or cling tightly. She sat straight, holding the reins the way he taught her. Her hands trembled, but she took a deep breath. Jacob walked next to her, guiding Thunder with soft words. Anna let the horse move forward, feeling the gentle rhythm beneath her. The first few steps were shaky, but soon she found her balance. Her confidence grew with every moment. "You're doing it," Jacob said proudly. Anna smiled, her eyes shining. She wasn't riding fast or far, but she was truly riding by herself. It felt like a kind of freedom she had never known before. After the ride, when she stepped down, she felt a burst of happiness. She patted Thunder and whispered, "Thank you." The horse brushed his nose gently against her arm, as if responding. That small ride became an important moment in her life. It wasn't just about the horse, it was about believing in herself. It was about knowing she could learn, grow, and belong. As the weeks passed, Anna grew stronger, both physically and emotionally. She learned how to plant seeds, how to listen for changes in the wind, and how to find joy in simple moments like drinking warm tea after a long day or watching the sunset paint the sky in soft colors. But the most important thing she learned was the value of patience, trust, and partnership. She discovered that ranch life wasn't just a lifestyle. It was a bond between people, animals, and the land they cared for. Jacob felt grateful every day that Anna was trying so hard. He respected her efforts and admired her willingness to step into a completely different world. Their relationship deepened quietly, not through grand gestures but through shared work, shared silence, and shared growth. One evening, as they sat outside watching the soft glow of the sky, Anna looked over the land with a peaceful expression. She realized she wasn't frightened anymore. The ranch didn't feel strange or overwhelming. Instead, it felt familiar, like she was slowly becoming part of a story much bigger than herself. And deep inside, she knew something important. The ranch was changing her, shaping her, teaching her patience, strength, and a new kind of happiness she had never felt in the city. But she didn't know that the most unforgettable moment of her journey was still to come. A ride across the highest ridge that would change her heart in a way she would never forget. The morning that changed everything for Anna began quietly, just like any other day on the ranch. The sun rose slowly above the wide fields, painting the sky in soft colors of gold and pink. The air felt cool and sweet, carrying the scent of fresh grass. Anna stood outside the house, watching the sunrise with a calm heart. She felt peaceful in a way she never felt in the city. The ranch no longer felt unfamiliar. It felt like a place where she could breathe freely, where every morning began with new hope. Jacob walked out of the barn, leading Thunder by the reins. When Anna saw them, her heart lifted. Thunder had become her favorite horse, not because he was the strongest or the fastest, but because he seemed to understand her. He moved with a patience that made her feel safe, and he carried a gentle energy that reminded her she was not alone in this journey. Jacob smiled when he saw her watching. "Perfect day for a ride," he said. Anna nodded. She loved riding now in a way she never expected. It had become her quiet place, her way of connecting with the land, the sky, and herself. She still learned slowly, but she wasn't afraid anymore. Jacob walked closer and said, "I want to show you something today. A place you haven't seen yet." Anna's curiosity grew. "Where?" "You'll see," he replied with a warm smile. "It's a little far, but worth the ride." She felt a spark of excitement inside her. She trusted Jacob, and she trusted Thunder, and she loved discovering new parts of the ranch. So she said softly, "Okay, let's go." Jacob helped her saddle Thunder properly. This time, Anna did most of the work by herself. She checked the straps, adjusted the stirrups, and made sure everything felt secure. Jacob only stepped in when she needed a little guidance. He watched proudly as she mounted Thunder with steady confidence. They started the ride slowly, letting the horses warm up. The wind blew gently across the fields, making the tall grass sway like waves. Anna felt the steady rhythm of Thunder beneath her, and it made her feel connected to everything around her. Jacob rode beside her on another horse, glancing at her every now and then with quiet happiness. The ride took them across familiar paths at first. They passed the wooden fences, the vegetable garden, and the small stream that ran behind the barn. But soon, the land changed. The path grew narrower, winding upward through gentle slopes. Anna looked around with wonder. She had not explored this part of the ranch before. "Where are we going?" she asked softly. Jacob pointed ahead. "There's a ridge up there. From the top, you can see the whole valley." Anna's heart filled with anticipation. She had always admired the ranch from ground level, but seeing everything from above sounded magical. She leaned forward slightly, letting Thunder move in a smooth, steady pace. As they climbed higher, the air grew cooler and clearer. Anna noticed the sound of birds echoing from the trees. She saw wildflowers growing along the path, their colors bright and cheerful. Thunder walked carefully over the uneven ground, but Anna didn't feel frightened. She trusted him fully. Jacob rode a little ahead now, checking the path before guiding Anna forward. He looked back often to make sure she was comfortable. "You're doing great," he said every few minutes. His calm voice gave her confidence. After a while, the narrow path opened into a wide, flat area near the top of the ridge. Jacob slowed his horse and looked at Anna with a soft smile. "We're almost there," he said. "Just a few more steps." Just a few more steps. Anna felt her heartbeat rise with excitement. The sun was higher now, shining brightly over the land. She could already see hints of the valley below through the trees. But Jacob wanted her to see the full view. When they reached the top of the ridge, Jacob gently pulled his horse to a stop. Anna did the same, letting Thunder stand still. She looked ahead, and her breath caught in her throat. The entire valley stretched out before them like a giant painting. Anna had never seen anything so beautiful. The fields looked like soft green blankets spread across the land. The river curved like a silver ribbon through the distance. The clusters of trees stood like peaceful islands in an ocean of grass. And far beyond everything, the horizon met the sky in a soft line that seemed endless. Anna's eyes widened with wonder. She felt the wind brush her face gently, and it seemed to carry 1,000 little stories of the land below. She had lived on the ranch for months now, but she never understood its true size and beauty until this moment. Jacob watched her quietly. He didn't interrupt her silence. He wanted her to take in everything, to feel the moment deeply. After a while, Anna spoke softly. "It's beautiful. I never knew it looked like this." Jacob nodded. "I wanted you to see it when you were truly ready." Anna looked at him with a gentle smile. She understood what he meant. If she had come here on her first day on the ranch, she wouldn't have appreciated it the same way. But now, after everything she had learned, everything she had overcome, and everything she had started to love, she could see the view not just with her eyes but with her heart. Thunder stood calmly beneath her, as if he too understood the importance of the moment. She patted his neck gently, feeling grateful for the journey he had taken her on. As they sat on their horses, overlooking the valley, Jacob shared stories about the ridge. He told her how he had come here as a child with his father, how he had watched sunsets from this very spot, how he dreamed of showing it to someone else one day, someone who would love the ranch as deeply as he did. Anna listened with soft eyes. She felt something warm spread in her chest. She didn't say anything right away, but her heart knew what she felt. This place had changed her. The ranch had shaped her into someone stronger, calmer, and braver. She didn't just live here now, she belonged here. Jacob gently guided his horse closer to her. Anna looked at the valley again before turning to him. "I'm glad I'm here too." Her words carried a meaning deeper than she expected, and Jacob understood that meaning without needing any explanation. They stayed on the ridge for a long time. They let the horses rest and grazed on the tall grass. Anna breathed slowly, feeling the calmness of the land sink into her. She felt like the sky above her was open not just to sunlight but to new possibilities, new dreams, and new beginnings. As they rode back down the ridge later, Anna felt different. She felt surer of herself, almost as if the view from the top had shown her something she needed to see. Not just about the ranch, but about herself. She realized she wasn't the same person who arrived months ago. Scared and unsure, she had changed quietly, step by step, ride by ride, moment by moment. When they reached home, Anna stepped off Thunder with steady feet. She removed the saddle with confident hands and brushed his coat gently, whispering her thanks. Thunder nudged her shoulder softly, as if accepting her words. Jacob watched her with pride. He saw not just the woman he had married, but the woman she had become, a woman who had learned a new life, embraced it, and made it her own. That night, as Anna sat outside under the vast sky full of stars, she felt a deep sense of peace. The ranch that once felt strange now felt like home. The land that once felt too big now felt like part of her story. And the journey she once feared had become one of the most beautiful chapters of her life. She closed her eyes and took a slow breath. She felt the soft wind, the quiet night, and the steady heartbeat of the land she had grown to love. She had never ridden that way before, never lived that way, never felt that way. But now, she couldn't imagine life any other way. And in her heart, she knew her journey with Jacob, Thunder, and the ranch was just beginning.